What's up guys, it's Acatix here bringing you guys a tutorial, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the basics of pen tooling. So I'm going to bring up a logo concept that I have made, and let's say that in this case I want to have my 2D logo and be able to edit it and play with it in Cinema 4D. So first step is obviously opening up your logo. You don't need to make any new layers or anything like that. You don't touch anything here. You go straight to your pen tool right here. Okay. Oops. You're gonna click. It's better if you find well, actually no. You're gonna go here to your paths, and you're gonna have, depending on how many parts your logo has, separate parts, you're gonna have different amount of paths, but I'll show you later how to solve that problem. Well, which isn't really a problem, but you're just gonna have to merge them in later. So to begin with, you're gonna want to find, let's see, any corner. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click here, and since this is slightly rounded, I'm just gonna click on the bottom and then click and pull up a bit just so it's slightly rounded. And as you can see, now that I've done this, I wish I could just continue. However, it does this this weird loop here. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to hold Alt on your keyboard and then click on the middle point of your anchor point. That's what it's called. You're gonna go ahead and click that. So one of the two I don't know what you want to call them. One of the two poles or sticks is gonna go away, and then you're gonna hold Shift. Whenever there's a straight line that you want to use or use pen tool with, you want to hold Shift, because no matter where I click, or actually wait, that was a bad example. So for example here, it doesn't matter how far away or off I am. If I hold Shift, it'll just keep it straight. So you're going to do the same thing. You're gonna hold Shift so that it's straight, and then on these longer curves I'd recommend not doing the entire thing just because it'll look a bit sloppy. So just go about halfway down, click and hold, click and drag, excuse me, hold Alt, click, and do the same thing until the very bottom, like so. Hold Alt. You have to remember to do that step. It's very crucial when pen tooling, because also a trick to making them more accurate, you want to mess around with how far you pull this. So many times when it's a very small curve or incline like this, you're just gonna want to click on the top and then pull up, and then very slowly pull to the right or to the left, just because it'll stick closer. So here, I'm just gonna go ahead and click without holding any buttons. Here there's a slight curve, so I'm just gonna adjust it, and so you get the gist of things. Essentially, you're just gonna outline your entire logo, and actually, if I were to very quickly, just to show you, just for the, let's see. So as you can see, this is not as accurate, but well. So if you didn't see that, when you're ready to finish up your first path, when you go back to the original anchor point, you're going to see this little dot next to your pen tool. You're just going to go ahead and click that, and that finishes your first work path. So as you can see, however, whenever you have letters, for example, or spaces that you don't want to be part of your logo, you're gonna have to pen tool those as well, and it's gonna leave them in the same work path. It's not gonna show up like all the anchor points for the previous time you went around your logo, but that doesn't matter. So if you look at the updated work path here, it's cut out that part as well. So I'm just gonna very quickly do this like so, because then I'm going to show you how to export this into Cinema 4D and then what you can do from there. So that. And then I'm just going to go, oh well, it will not be accurate at all. And I need to zoom out. So as you can see, that's the reason behind whatever, doing it halfway through. It just makes it much more accurate later. And making it accurate now is definitely going to help you out in Cinema 4D. That way you won't have to mess with any flaws, etc. So whoops, you're going to have to click and drag here. There we go. So okay, essentially let's say this is the logo we want, and I'm just going to ignore this part right here. So you can go back to your layers, everything ready, and then you're going to go to File, Export, Paths to Illustrator, and you're going to select, if you have more than one path, it's going to give you the option to select all paths, but right now I only have one, which is my work path, so I'm going to hit OK. You're going to go ahead and save it, so I'm going to just do that. Open up Cinema 4D, just like that. Wait for this to open. And very plainly, you're just going to hit open. And then double click your AI. Don't change anything unless you want to change the scale, but I've never done so I'd recommend not doing either. And there you have it. There's your logo in AIs, and you're just going to sit in a layer just like you would for a normal logo. Or actually, this is a trick, so you're going to go ahead and select the first path, hold down Alt, then go to Extrude Nerves. Do the same for the second one, and there you have it. Now your 2D logo has been successfully transferred from 2D to 3D, and now here there's an infinite amount of modifications you can make to your logo, because Cinema 4D is really incredible like that. So yeah, there you go. There you have it, guys. So hopefully you learned from this, and if you did, make sure to drop a like, because that's my motivation when making these videos. So essentially that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial and it helped, and if it did, make sure to drop. Actually, alright, just a bonus thing, just because I feel like that was too quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys the final, very important part to let's just get a render. I'll get my RUM render like this, and similar to, well, actually exactly what I did in my speed art was I made a new layer. You're gonna select your pen tool, and I'm just gonna do it on a couple of letters just because this is slightly demanding text. You're gonna do the same thing, outline your letters like so. Just get it all the way around. Like that. Like that. And alright, so now that you've essentially, assuming you've outlined every single one of your letters, you're going to go to your brush. You're going to make keep it on a soft brush, however make the size extremely small, down to 6 pixels. If you want, depending on how big your render is, you might want to go down to even 4 pixels. It depends on how clean you want it to be. I'm just going to keep it on 6 because this is a rather big render. And you're going to want to make it, this depends on your color correction. So for example, if I were to bring mine in right now, bring in my color correction pack, which is for sale as usual, so if you ever become interested, you can just message me. And we're just going to bring in our render like so, just to test out a couple color corrections. So let's say, alright, let's say I want this one. Take off this pattern. Perfect. I'm going to bring that back in like that. Put a black backing. Alright, so now that we have our outline, I'm going to go back to your new layer, which you haven't touched yet. Click on PenTool, right click, stroke path. Since you modified your brush, you're going to leave it on brush. Simulate pressure selected, hit OK, then hit the delete key on your keyboard, and there you have it. Now you have an outline of your letters. So this can be used whenever you want to, for example, you're going to want to, let's see, distort, go to ripple, and this leaves a pretty nice effect. I really, actually, to be honest, this is one of my favorite things I like to do, and that's slightly too much. Distort, ripple, I'm going to bring it down to, let's say 130, 140. And so this just like gives a abstract outline to your text. And another thing I do is, if I go back to when I had my outline, of course, let's see, there we go. You're going to want to make the color of your brush, let's say blue in this case, because that's the color of my letters. You're going to do the same thing, stroke path, okay. Oh, I did it on the wrong layer, there we go. Make sure you have the empty layer selected. That was my mistake right now. Hit backspace, and there you have it. That looks way better than the white one. So that just gives a nicer, cleaner look to your letters. That way people notice it and see it better. And actually, while I'm here, I'm just going to show you guys a final trick. It's not related to this, but it's something I did on my speed art, which a lot of people ask me about. What I like to do is, after selecting a color correction, which I choose based on how much it darkens the letters and how well it's going to fit on my background, I don't always like the color that's given to me. So in this case, it would be blue. So therefore, you click on your color correction pack. You go to gradient map. Therefore, it is above the pack. Make sure it's always above it. You're gonna go to hue. Then here you typically have some default ones, and so if I were to bring in a lot of these I've made, a lot of them I've gotten from packs around since I've started. So for example, this one, or actually I'm just gonna go with the original. This one, it just looks nicer when it has this outline to the text, as you can see, compared to the rest. And then if you add this ripple, oh, that was the wrong layer. If I add the ripple here, that just looks overall. It just gives it a nice touch. So that's pretty much it on the basics of pen tooling. I know there's much more, but this is how I've taught myself to use it and how I find it useful when making graphics. So hopefully this helped you out, and if it did, make sure to drop a like, and definitely comment letting me know what you guys want the next tutorial to be, because I'm running low on ideas. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and peace out.